What's going on, everybody? Liam O'Reilly, Vermont economic realtor with Jerry Riley Real Estate. I hope you're doing well. Today, we have another Vermont housing market update for you. We're going to take a look at the overall state of the Vermont housing market, and then we're also going to niche down and take a look at Chittenden County so you have the best information with your home buying or selling decision. So let's get right into it. All right, so we're going to go, this is the whole state of Vermont right now. This is a snapshot of what happened in September 2023. So relevant as of 11 days ago. So the most current data that we have. Median sales price down slightly month over month. You see right at the top at 390, but up 5.5% year over year. Closed sales down 25% year over year, basically flat month over month. So a lot less sales happening. Median days on market is ticking up. The list price received, percentage of list price received, is down slightly year over year, 0.4%, down 1.2% month over month. So, some of these data, you kind of have to, some of these data points, you have to take with a grain of salt because maybe it was a low month one month, maybe it was a high month another month, like down 25% year over year for closed sales. Maybe that was a high. Maybe September was a high month for closed sales last year. And we're going to look at some graphs later in this video that will show things on a historical level. Something that I think is very interesting is right at the bottom here, months of supply up to 2.1 months. So up slightly, 0.8% month over month. So basically flat, but up significantly year over year, 27% increase in the month of supply for the overall Vermont housing market. Now, it's going to vary different depending on what part of Vermont you're in, but basically the higher that months of supply gets, the higher that number gets, the better it is for buyers. Similarly, active inventory right here at the bottom, up 0.4% month over month, so basically flat, down 4.7% year over year, so down slightly year over year, but the higher the active inventory, the higher the months of supply, the better it is for buyers, the worse it is for sellers. Now, the months of supply, a neutral market would be between 5 and 7 months of supply. Anything lower than that is considered a buyer's market. Anything higher than that, anything lower than that is a seller's market, where it's better for sellers than it is buyers. Anything higher than that 5 to 7 range is considered a buyer's market, where it's better to buy than it is to sell. So right now we're still in a buyer's market, but months of supply ticked up significantly. Now, a quick snapshot of Chittenden County, which is the county I mostly service here. Wait for these data points to load. So I think the biggest takeaways here, obviously median sales price up 9% year over year, up 5.5% month over month, but it's essentially flat from where it's been the past few months. We had a down month in August as far as the median sales price goes, but it's creeped back up to basically where it has been. And of course, up 9% from last year. If we take a look down at the bottom again, the active inventory and the month supply, all the way at those last two marks. So active inventory, you can see, is ticking up significantly in Chittenden County. Now, we didn't see that throughout all of Vermont, but here where I work, inventory is increasing, but at the same time, months supply of inventory, obviously it's up 42% from last year, but it's still down significantly from where the overall Vermont housing market months of supply is. So it's still, inventory is trending up in Chittenden County, but relative to the entire state of Vermont, we're still well under that months of supply of the overall state. So there's still more buyers than there are sellers, although inventory is ticking up. And I'm going to talk more about what that means for you as a buyer, as well as what that means for you as a seller, and how I think you should be interpreting this data. Now, something else to point out here, percentage of list price received in Chittenden County, 102.5%, down slightly both month over month and year over year. The left side is year over year, the right side is month over month, but we're still over 100% of list price received on average. So generally speaking, sellers are still getting more than what they're asking for their home. Let's take a look into some of these charts more deeply. So we're looking at we're switching back from Chittenden County to the whole state of Vermont now. We can see that from these filters here. We're looking at single families, homes, and condos for the entire state. So we're not taking into account multifamily, mobile homes, land. Those markets are a little bit different than the single family home and the condo markets. I think single family home and condos play pretty close together with one another, and they really fall under the residential real estate sector, where those other markets, the land, the multifamily, um, and mobile homes, they don't quite fit into the same category. So overall, median sales price for Chittenden County, it's down month over month, but look at how high it is year over year. Let's see if we can find. So there's September of 20. Oh, it says it right here. September of 2022 was at 370. So we're up 5% year over year in the median sales price, and we hit a new high. We hit a new median sales price high last month in August at 415,000 for the state of Vermont. You can see it's a record high despite these high interest rates. Home prices are still climbing across the state. Now let's take a look at some of those other indicators that I mentioned: the active inventory and the month supply of inventory. So we'll start off with active inventory here. Wait for it to load. So here we go. So you can see we're well below historical averages across the state for active listings. There's still not much supply across the state, and we're not really seeing inventory get past this 2022 peak that we saw. So inventory is staying tight. Basically, what that's telling me is that there's still, although inventory is down year over year, it's climbing slightly month over month. There's still a lot of buyers out there to take the new listings as they come in. But at the same time, new listings in general. So we take a look at that. Let's see if we can find that. Active inventory, there's new listings. So let's see what the data says here. So new listings are down pretty significantly, down 8.8% month over month, basically flat year over year. So we're still at relatively low inventory on a historical basis, as well as just generally speaking, there's less listings coming to the market, which I think is keeping that active inventory low. Lastly, the last thing we're going to talk about here for the overall Vermont housing market are the month supply of inventory. So this is the ratio between buyers and sellers. This is, if there's 100 homes on the market and you sell 10 and 10 homes sell per month, then you would have 10 months supply of inventory. It would take 10 months to get through all that active inventory based on how many sales are occurring in a given area. So 2.1 months of supply. Basically, if you have 40 homes on the market and you sell 20 homes per month, it's going to take you 2 months to get through. And that blue line that you see there is the neutral line. So that's between 5 and 7 months supply. You can see we were well above that leading up to the pandemic throughout the state of Vermont. We were well above that in months of supply, and we've shot below that, and we've stayed below that, moving into where we are today in September of 2023. So now let's focus on Chittenden County. This is where I primarily work, although I do work in the surrounding counties as well, but it gives us a good indication of what's going on in the market around Burlington. So as I mentioned in that snapshot, month supply is trending upwards. You can see they're up 42% from a year ago, but it went up from 0.9 months to 1.2 months supply. So not a very high increase. Let's go up to the median sales price and take a look at that, because that essentially, from what I remember from the snapshot, is relatively flat year over year. But it's so it's up a little bit year over year, up 8.8%. So basically on point with what the overall Vermont housing market is, up 9% year over year, and increased slightly month over month. We're right around where we peaked out at, and so far the median sales price is staying stable. A lot of that has to do with the tight months of supply, the amount of buyers that are out there. But the most interesting piece of data here in Chittenden County is this active inventory. Now once this loads, you'll see what I'm talking about. So you can see here, we're well below the historic pre-pandemic numbers of existing inventory. You can see, all the way back in 2017, we're at, 2016, 826, 2017, we're at 600. We're only at 191 as far as active single-family homes and condos in Chittenden County right now. So still well below the average active inventory that we've seen, but active inventory is trending upwards here in Chittenden County. So although the month supply of inventory is significantly lower than the overall Vermont housing market, active inventory is climbing at a rate that exceeds the overall Vermont market. So how do we interpret this? How do we specifically interpret those two data points? What I think is that what this is telling you is there's still a lot of buyers out there, but two, the homes that aren't priced properly, the homes where the seller refuses to drop their sales price or list price, and that are the homes that are priced too high, those homes are sitting on the market longer. Even though we have less listings, we didn't go over the new listings, but let's do that really quick. I'm fairly certain they're down as well. So this graph is a little harder to visualize because of how spiky it is. Yeah, so you can see it's pretty well below the historical average of new listings, down 13% from last month, down 6.7% year over year. So new listings are down, fairly significantly, but we still have active inventory increasing. So what this tells me is that, and a low monthly supply of inventory. So what this tells me is that the homes that are priced properly are still getting multiple offers. They're still going quickly. And the homes that need work, the homes that are overpriced, the homes that sellers don't want to budge on because maybe their neighbor sold for $500,000 and so they think their home is worth $500,000 even though they haven't done the updates that their neighbor did. Those homes are sitting on the market for much longer, and the inventory is starting to build, especially across Chittenden County. We're not really seeing that across all of Vermont yet, but really across Chittenden County, inventory is starting to build. So as inventory grows and as months of supply of inventory grows, that leads to a more of a buyer's market compared to a seller's market. So what does this mean for you as a home buyer and a home seller in this market? As a home buyer, I think it's more important than ever to search for those opportunities out there, to search for those homes that might need a little bit of work, the homes that are overpriced, that have been on the market for a little while, where the seller needs to sell. That, again, we've been talking about this for a while now, but that's where the best opportunities are in the market. Now, as a home seller, what you want to do is you want to take a look at all the other homes in your price range and try to price your home, try to make your home the most attractive listing in that price range. So whether you can spruce your home up a little bit, do some updates, or maybe you lower your price lower than where you want it to be in order to attract more buyers, in order to make it the most attractive home on the market in that price range. I think those are two great options that you can do as a home seller. And even if you lower your price and list it below where you ideally want to be, there's still a good chance that you're going to get multiple offers and sell for well above list price. Now, we're not seeing 20 offer situations. Those days are behind us. But we are still seeing the 2, 3, 4, 5 offer homes pretty consistently throughout all price ranges, whether it's a $200,000 property or a $1 million property. People are still getting multiple offers if they're priced appropriately. So anyway, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. I always love hearing from you folks. If you're looking to buy or sell a home here in Vermont, all my contact information is in the description. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.